Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. I'm your host Rob. This video we're going to do our review of Almost Human. Okay guys, welcome back. Thanks for watching. This episode was titled Unbound. It was a very good way to kick off the absence that they've had for the last 3 weeks. John Lariquette was on this episode, and he looks like he's going to be having at least a limited reoccurring role. He plays a very important character named Nigel Vaughn, and he was the creator of the Dorian droid, and it was a nice to, I haven't seen this guy. I mean, I've seen him through the years doing. He's done a lot of television work. For some of you older, for some of the older crowd here on my channel that do follow Almost Human and watch these videos, if you've ever seen the show Night Court, that's pretty much where he made his name. But you know, this episode was it was good. The only issue I have is that I didn't really. I kind of figured out pretty early, in fact, almost immediately, that Nigel would have something to do with what was going on with the I think it was the XSN or XRN droid, which were, these droids were pretty much like the DRNs. The only difference is they were built for combat, and you know, they have extreme tactical abilities. Knowing how to use guns, fighting techniques, things of that nature. And the story behind these XRNs is that there was one that went haywired and went on a killing spree, and they just kill soullessly. They'll shoot anybody, it doesn't matter. Basically, you know, mass murdering, you know, genocide. And there was a story where something took place where it was like genocide. Kennex was involved, so was Captain Maldonado, and at first they didn't really tell Dorian the whole story, and I think it's because Dorian, since he was created by the creator who also created the XRNs, you sticking with me there? Okay. You know, maybe they were concerned that it would have an effect on him simply because Dorian is, he's an emotional droid. He's got a built-in, which we found out now in this episode, what's called he referred to it as spirit, but he put a word in front of it, and I can't remember right now. The name of it escapes me, but it's a little vial that was almost like some sort of DNA for the droids, or excuse me, for the synthetic androids, that gave them what you see in Dorian, which is an almost human-like mind thought process, an almost human-like spirit. So basically, this one android starts popping all over the place, killing different innocent people, basically trying to draw the attention of the cops. And finally, the android does. It's believed to be shot down by the MRXs, which are the current droids, and it's taken into the evidence room. In the evidence room, it pops out the body bag. It finds a head of a woman who is the original design of the XRN, or at least one of them. Reattaches the old head, and the actress who plays her, or plays this android, I know her last name's Carano, I forget her first name, looks very familiar. If there's anyone who's seen her before and knows where she's from, can you please put it in the comments, because the face was so familiar, but I couldn't remember where I've seen her before, so maybe somebody else knows. But basically, and she starts and she goes on a little mission, and she's killing people left and right, and she finds these processors that are made or developed very similar or exactly like she is, and she steals them, and there's 500 of them. So when they find out that she's stolen them, obviously they're all very nervous, because they already know at this point that she is either developing herself or in cahoots with someone who is trying to develop more droids like her. So when they finally track her down, she is basically going on a blood spree at some sort of political convention, or whatever the case may be, to reelect. I don't know if he was a senator or whatever the case may be, but basically this person who was up for re-election was the very person who banned or sold the contract that was formerly given to Nigel Vaughn to another company because Nigel Vaughn's droids were malfunctioning. This goes back to the early part of the episode, or excuse me, the series, where they explained why the DRNs were decommissioned, because since they were very emotional and they were very human-like, a lot of them didn't handle police work very well. Some of them even committed suicide, which was explained in this episode. So, but even before that, you could tell Nigel was involved. It was just so obvious. I mean, he was the one person she didn't kill in the very beginning of the show. When she finally got her head back and then she was looking for a different body so she can, become more durable, she ran right into him. And before that, she had pretty much popped off everyone she ran into, but he happened to live. So right there, that more or less gave it away. And then finally, there's this epic fight between Dorian and the XRN. And boy, man, they go at it. It was such a great scene. And she gets the better of him because she is built for that and she is more durable. They explain in the story how her circuits are made of like platinum or something like that, or some crazy element that just makes her more of a durable warrior. So Dorian puts up a great fight, though. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it was a great fight. It was awesome. You know, I love Michael Ealy in this character, man. He's really, I'm just really enjoying that. So, and he gets impaled, and the first time he got impaled, I was kind of taken back because I didn't know what was going to happen, because they had cut the commercial, and I'm like, oh man, is he gonna, and I didn't think he'd die, but I thought something serious would happen. He turned out to be okay, and Kennex actually, for a change, actually saved him. And here's Kennex trying to really fight this synthetic hand-to-hand. He's getting his ass whipped, and she lifts him up, and she starts choking him, but she doesn't realize that he grabs the grenade, and then he takes his synthetic leg and gives her a mafia kick through the door, and she explodes. And all this time, Nigel had taken off. He was in the precinct, and they were looking for him, and you see him running off, getting into a car where there's another droid that looked very much like the first XRN before she got her body. And it was like kind of like a robotic face with a single, it looks almost like what's that robot from Transformers? I forget. Oh my God, from the Dark of the Moon, and very popular. I can't believe I forget this because I was a huge Transformers fan. It's a purple. He's got the single eye. Shockwave. Thank you. Shockwave. Looks very much, kind of like a Shockwave, a miniature Shockwave. Has the metal face and one little red eye in the middle. And he drives off with that robot to the wall, which is a portion in the city that separates it from another portion. And he's got the 500 processors for the droids. And he gets hoisted up on top of the wall, and that's where it ends. So that's very exciting for me because it looks like they're finally going to have a little storyline that's going to pit them against some super soldier type synthetic robots. John Lariquette hopefully will be around for a little while. I don't know if he's been casted as a regular in the series, but even if I'm only going to see him for a couple more episodes going forward, that's fine. He's a good actor. He did very well on the show. It was very nice to see him there. And it was a good show. It was a very good episode. The only thing I have to criticize with this episode is that they should have figured out he was involved well before. These are cops. They're supposed to figure this stuff out. The first person you investigate, or the first person you question, or the first person you even put into custody, at least guilty by association, would be the creator of these robots, which is what he was. And yeah, he was helping them, but still, they should have kept a close eye on him. So I thought that was kind of bad taste. Not bad taste, but I thought that was kind of lame to make the cops almost seem like a little incompetent, because I'm sure I'm not the only viewer that figured out this guy was involved. So, but anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Almost Human. Great. It was a good episode. I had a lot of fun watching it. I'm looking forward to the next one, and I hope you guys are too. And I'll see you next video. Take it easy.